Hey everybody, Dean Kulowira, IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. Hope everybody's having a great long weekend here in Toronto. If you're celebrating the long weekend, well, not like you have a choice. Everybody's celebrating the long weekend if you're here in Toronto. But hope everybody's having a good weekend. And nevertheless, for those of you who are not here in Toronto or Canada, hope you're having a great Monday and you're hustling, you're grinding, you're putting in the work. If you're in job search mode, hope that search is going on strong. Make sure you keep putting yourself out there. Those of you who don't know me, again, my name is Dean Kulowira. I'm an IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. If you're in Toronto, if you're an IT professional in Toronto, we're based out of the North York area, basically Yonge and Sheppard. Short 10-15 minute walk from Sheppard Yonge TDC station. So if you want to meet up, if you want to introduce yourself to me, don't hesitate in letting me know. Send me an email, shoot me a message. You can call me during the work week, 416-296-1772, extension 2036. So first of all, before I go any further, I released an article just a short few hours ago on LinkedIn. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already. Basically, and what I'm talking about in the article is expanding on a concept that I kind of mentioned in my previous YouTube video, where I was kind of dissecting that post that I saw on LinkedIn regarding how to come across, whether you're coming across as a job seeker as desperate versus persistent. So in that video, I discussed a concept called, I guess a method of following up that's more creative. So and I refer to it as creative follow-up. So I kind of expand on that in that article. So I'll post a link to the article in, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll post it in the video description. If you're watching it on LinkedIn, I'll post it in one of the comments below. So be sure to check it out. I basically expand on that and show you how to add more variety in your follow-up. And that way you're able to follow up more frequently and keep the lines of communication open with whoever your point of contact is, whether it's a recruiter or a hiring manager or whatever the case, after you've gone in for your interview or after you've gone in for your final interview. So you can keep in communication and help push the process forward and make sure that you're on their mind and they don't forget about you. So again, be sure to check out that article if you haven't already. And feel free to comment, like, share, anything of the sorts. And let me know your feedback. Let me know if there's any other particular topics you want me to cover. Let me know if you think I'm completely crazy and what I'm talking about is ridiculous and I don't know what I'm talking about or anything of that sort. Any feedback is appreciated. Really love hearing everybody's thoughts. And again, any particular topics you want me to cover, let me know. I'll do my best to cover them, whether in an article or one of my, quick job search tips. On Instagram, I do quick videos on Instagram as well, starting recently, and as well as YouTube. So let me know. Thanks so much for everybody who has been liking, sharing, commenting. Really appreciate the feedback and all your interactions. So again, really appreciate that. So what I wanted to talk about today in this video is specifically, I guess a salary negotiation strategy or tactic that you can start employing immediately in your job search. So if you're at a point where you're getting offers on the table and you're getting to the part where you're negotiating salary, maybe you presented yourself for a role or at a specific salary range, you're in talks with the employer or the hiring manager or the decision maker, and maybe they came in a little low, maybe you're not getting what you feel you deserve for the role. So at this point, so before you take, I get to my advice on the salary negotiation tactic you can use. Keep in mind, this would apply if you're speaking with the primary or major decision maker. Might not work if you're in communication with a recruiter. That being said, if the recruiter has a strong relationship with the client or the hiring manager, it can still be effective. But really, the recruiter should be doing what I'm about to tell you in order to close their client on giving you a salary that's more in line with what you're looking for. So that's pretty much the groundwork I'm going to lay out before I get to my thoughts on this and a strategy that you can use. So here's the thing. Now let's say the scenario is you applied for a role, you presented yourself, you said that you're looking for, let's say $100 grand a year, right? It's $100K salary for the position. That's what you presented yourself at right at the beginning. You were like, I'm looking for 100K. That's my minimum. Blah blah blah. You went through the whole process. They said, yeah, we like you, we love you, we want you on the team, and they come back with something lower. They come back with 95K, let's say. So how do you deal with that? Now, a lot of you call in to me and ask me how to deal with that. Like, what should I do, Dean? This and that. So here's my advice, and I want you to take it very serious. I want you to pay good attention, because this is something that you need to wrap your head around when you're entering, similar or basically, in this case, I'm talking about salary negotiations, but really you can apply this to anything pretty much that you're trying to negotiate. You just had to change the context a little bit, right? So now let's go back to that scenario, right? So you were looking for 100K, you let them know up front, they come back with 95K. So what you want to do is you want to know how you can get that 100K as opposed to 95, which, by the way, you've been very transparent about. Like, it's not like you said at the beginning, yeah, I'm okay with 95K. It's like you presented yourself at 100K and now they're coming back with 95K. So what do you do about it? Now, most of you, what you're thinking about is, okay, they gave me, I'm looking for 100K. They came back with 95K. How do I get the 100K? And you start, you start getting, maybe you're starting getting emotional and stuff like that, right? You go back to the employer. You're like, look, I really need 100K. It's not going to cover my travel expenses. It's not going to cover this. It's not going to cover that. I can't make sense of that, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Not the right approach. I'm pretty sure, maybe there are times when that is effective. I'm not sure, but I'd say don't depend on that. Don't depend on going that route. Don't depend on calling them out. Don't tell them, well, I let you know up front from the jump. I let you know that I'm looking for 100K. I didn't say 95, et cetera, et cetera. That route is not going to work either. Maybe it does once in a while, but it's not the most effective way. So here's what I want you to do. So when they come, if you've been presented at 100K and they're coming back with 95K, I don't even want you to think about the 100K. Okay? Now, I know some of you are like, whoa, what? Dean, what the hell are you talking about? Don't think about the 100K. Think about it this way. They're willing to cover 95K of that 100K. Now think about that. Now what I mean by that is they're already closed on 95K. They're already closed on paying you 95K. So you don't have to worry about that 95K. Like, that's all. They already have the budget for that. What you need to focus on now is just that extra 5K. Okay? So that's the most important. That's the powerful part of this negotiation tactic. So don't worry about that you're not getting 100K. What you need to first of all identify is that they've been approved for 95K. Like, the 95K is good to go. So all you need to concern yourself with is justifying that extra 5,000K. Because that's the only difference. So that's what you need to close them on. So you don't need to close them on 100K. You need to close them on 5K, right? That's what you need to focus on. That difference, the 5K difference, because you already got the 95. The 95 is good to go. You just need to close them on that extra 5K. Now, how you close them on that, it depends entirely on, it depends on it kind of does depend on the context. Like, obviously your situation might be different from another person's situation, like in the sense of what's the problem they're trying to solve, what skill sets do they need, what skill sets you have, like what type of projects have you done, how closely do the projects match with what they're looking for the specific role, and are you able to fill in that need that they have, the problem, the need in terms of the problem they're trying to solve. And additionally, what extras do you bring to the table as well, because that adds value as well. So all of these are the things you need to be talking about to help them justify paying an extra 5K. And now, a very effective close you can use to close them on the 5K is to reduce it to a dollar amount. Basically, reduce it to as I don't know how to explain it, but basically reduce it to an amount that's just completely ridiculous. In terms of divide that 5,000K by, reduce it down to what that would be per month or per day, if that makes sense. Let me just get out a calculator here so I can tell you exactly what I mean, and hopefully I'm just using my burner phone here. Hopefully it has a calculator. and it has a calculator. Okay, so basically now let's say I'm trying to close them on a 5,000K, right? So what you need to do is reduce it to it's in. I learned this close from Grant Cardone. He calls it the reduce to the ridiculous close. It's basically when you take an amount and you reduce it to what it would be equivalent to on a daily basis, even an hourly basis, right? So you take 5,000K, right? Hopefully you see that. I don't know if you see that. I think there's a reflection. So anyway, but you get out your own calculators and do this math as well. So 5,000, an extra 5,000K a year, divide that by 12. Okay, you get 416.6666. Okay, so let's round that off to $417, right? So $417 divide by, on average, let's say 30 days in a month. Okay, 30 days in a month. So 417K divided by 30 days a month. That's $13.9 per day. Now divide that 13.9 hours, 13.9. Well, actually, you don't even. Well, if you want to, you can divide it into hours. But for $13.90 a day, they're gonna get you for the role. So now that's what you need to close them on. Like you need, if you close, you get what I'm saying. So you reduce it down to the most ridiculous figure possible. Reduce it to like a daily figure, and now that's how you can now you can use that as material to close them. You can say, look, I really appreciate your offer of 95K. I'm looking for 100K. That's only $5,000 dollars more per year than what you're initially offering me. Now that comes down to $13.90 a day. Now, based on what you know about my background and what I bring to the table, my skill set, my tools, the previous projects I've done, what you guys are looking to solve at your company, the project you're currently working on, and also all the additional stuff that I bring to the table as well, such as XYZ. You got to explain that, what that extra stuff is. Can you make sense of paying an additional $13.90 a day more to get me on this project and get me started right away so I can get this problem solved for you? How would you justify an extra $13.9 a day, $13.90 a day? Let them talk. Now you've opened up the conversation because now you've reduced that 5,000K to a ridiculous amount, which 5,000K a year, which equals around $13.90 per day. And if you want to make it even more crazy, you can just reduce that to an hourly basis. So if you work 8 hours a day, that's $1.74. Sorry, it's $1.74 per hour extra they gotta pay. So you understand how effective this closing strategy might be, right? And it's a great close, by the way. Again, credit goes to, I learned it from Grant Cardone. And it's just a very powerful, effective strategy. And that's what you need. So first of all, remember, you need to be closing them on the 5,000K. Don't worry about the 100K. Of that 100K, 95K is approved. So you need to worry about that 5K. How do you help them justify paying an extra 5K more for you than what they offered? So this close, the reduced to the ridiculous close, it's a very effective close to use that'll help you talk about this in a logical manner. And you're not using manipulation. It's not manipulation. It's basically fact. It's exactly what it is. You're just asking for 5K more than what they want, which is what you initially asked for. You're reducing it into what that would equal to on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. And opening up the conversation from there, like, can they justify paying $13.90 extra per day for exactly what they need to solve the problem and the issue, plus more. So this is where you, like, I can't come up with the answers for you right now because your situation is specific. Obviously, you have certain skills, tools, projects, and a whole bunch of extras probably that you bring to the table that'll help you justify that additional $13.90 a day. So use this strategy, right? So that's what I want you thinking about. If you're asking for 100K, they come back with something a little lower, like a 95K or whatever. Don't think about the 100K. Remember, the 95K is accounted for. They're willing to pay that. You need to worry about that 5K. So only think about the difference, and you need to close them on the difference. That's what I want you to focus on. So use that strategy and think about that, and have your pitch down for how you're going to justify that difference, because that's what you need to close them on. Because the 95K, that's accounted for, right? So think about that. Try it out. Use it. Let me know how that works. And again, it's applicable every area, any other selling or sales situation. Like, I use this as a recruiter to close candidates on deciding between various offers. Recruiting example I can think of. I remember I was working with a candidate. I believe he was a developer. I believe he was an Android developer, and basically, I had an offer on the table from my client. And I think the offer. Okay, I'm just gonna make up a number because this happened some time ago, so I can't remember the number. I think the offer was. Let's just go with the same example, right? So my client came back with 95K. He had another offer on the table from another client for 100K. He was like, Dean, look, I love the opportunity with your client, but the other place is offering me 5K more. I'm getting 100K out there. These guys are only giving me 95K. I'm leaning more towards the other one because I'm getting more money. So I said, great, no problem. I completely understand. And by the way, you have to acknowledge their offer. Don't just start, just blasting out on them on a whole bunch of stuff. Always acknowledge the offer. Say thank you for the offer and acknowledge the offer. So I totally understood where this candidate was coming from. I said, I totally understand. You're getting 95K from my client. The other place you're getting 100K. That's 5K more. Look, let me ask you this, Mr. or Mrs. Candidate. If the money was equal, which role would you prefer? Which one would you take? And he said, well, Dean, I definitely go for your client. I said, okay, excellent. And why is that? And then he said, well, because of X. I said, okay, great. Why else? Then he said, well, because of Y. Then I said, okay, great, excellent. Why else? Z. So and then I kept asking why else, right? I said, okay, great. Now look, you'd be accepting this role at $13.90. Well, sorry, you'd be accepting this role at $5,000 less than what you're getting at the other company, obviously. Now, is that worth for you to take up this offer? If this opportunity, based on what you've told me, this opportunity is what you'd rather go for, based on all the points that you just explained to me. Now, the question is, can you justify taking a role $5,000 less than than a role that you really want to work at, where it'll be doing exactly what you want, where you want to go in your career. You'll be working on exactly the type of projects you want, exactly the type of technologies you want to work with. Can you justify that? Because because if I reduce it to a monthly basis or daily basis, what we're talking about on a daily basis is a difference of $13.90. Can you justify making $13.90 less per day for the role that you really want? He's like, Dean, that makes perfect sense. Absolutely, I'm fine with that. Like it's just 5,000K. You're absolutely right. The role with your company is exactly where I want to be. It's gonna get me where I want to go. And you know what? I'm gonna be getting there is the option for raises and bonuses and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go with your client. And that was that. So I closed them on accepting the offer with my client. I didn't use any manipulation. There was no aggressive what's that guy's name? Wolf of Wall Street style closing. There was no guilting him into accepting an offer with my client. There was no holding a gun to. I didn't hold a gun to his head. It's pure logic, and it's exactly what you need to be using or incorporating when you're negotiating your salary. Like you got to be unemotional about it. You can't be emotional. You got to be logical about it, and help close them on the difference. Right? I mean, that's basically what it is. Another example. So recently, I was helping out my dad. So my dad's opening up a pre-owned used car dealership. It's a small dealership he's trying to open up. And him and his business partner, they found this nice office space. Nothing big and huge. They're just starting out the business, so it was a pretty small office unit, and they were looking at taking half of the space. So basically, the office unit was kind of. I wish I had a board. I should get a board, I think. But basically, the office unit was divided into either the front. You either take the front or the back, right? So the front part of the office was, I believe, I don't know, a certain amount per month. The back of the unit was obviously less, and I think the difference was like $500, right? Now there's obviously certain advantages by going for the front portion of the office, right? Because you're the first people the customer sees when they walk in. They don't have to walk into the back or anything like that. And in terms of pedestrian traffic, like if you're sitting in the front part of the office, Pedestrian traffic is definitely gonna be interacting with you first and foremost. And if you speak with the pedestrian traffic, by pedestrian traffic, by the way, I mean people who are just walking by or happen to be in the area, not appointments or anything like that. Your chances are less likely of a pedestrian or a walk-in customer knowing that there's another business in the back and walking into the back. So huge advantages. I'm sure those of you watching, you understand what I'm saying, right? So anyway, my dad's business partner, he was like my dad. So my dad had been trying to close this guy on going for the front unit for a number of days, a number of weeks, or whatever the case, and he just couldn't close him and he kept saying, look, we're gonna regret it if we, the front office is where we need to be. We're gonna regret it if we don't get it. It's better and blah blah blah, etc. etc. But the guy was held up on taking the back unit. So yesterday I went to check out the unit with my dad because I wanted to see the place. And by the way, it's a great place. And by the way, if you're watching and if you're on the market for pre-owned used vehicles, let me know. I'll hook you up with my dad. I don't know what units or what vehicles he currently has, but I'll definitely introduce you to him, and maybe he can help you out with a pre-owned or used automotive vehicle. Anyway, that's my pitch there for my dad. So basically, I looked at the unit, and I mean, for sure you can right away see the advantages of taking the front unit. So, nice bright sunshine, very positive feel when you're in the front part of the unit. Back unit is still good, but it's not the same as occupying the front portion of this office unit, right? And it's actually a little bigger in the front. Like you have more width in the office. The back, it gets a little narrow right at the back. So anyway, after checking out the place, I was helping them out with clearing out some stuff, like not construction stuff, but removing some shelves and stuff like that. And finally, I just asked my dad's business partner, look, how much is the unit that you guys are paying for here, the back one that you're going for? And he said, well, it's X number of dollars. I said, okay, great. And how much is the one in the front? Like, how much is the front unit? He's like, well, it's X number of dollars, whatever the dollar amount is. So the difference, and so basically the difference was per month. The difference was about $500 a month difference, right? So I was like, look, aside from the money, aside from the difference in the $500, like why don't you just go for the front unit? Like what's preventing you from going with the front unit? What's preventing you from taking the unit at the front, right? And then he's like, well, I figured that if I save on the $500, I can use that to buy more extra space to park more cars in the back. So basically, his logic was, instead of paying an extra $500 to get the front unit, he saves that $500 and he diverts that $500 into getting more parking spots for their inventory in the back, right? So they can basically park more cars in the back. I said, okay, great. I totally understand it. I understand your logic. I get where you're coming from. But look, the bottom line is the customer's not going to see the cars parked in the back. They're going to see the cars that's parked out in the front. And in whichever unit you take, you're getting X number of spots anyway, included in your rent. But the added advantage of having the front unit is you're the first person the customer sees. You get first dibs on any pedestrian traffic, any walk-in customers, and you're able to be right there at the front. Like there's not going to be any confusion. Like a walk-in customer is not going to walk in and end up talking to the other person who occupies the unit, who by the way is also going to be a car dealer, and then have them possibly take a potential customer from you that was initially supposed to go and speak to you, but they just didn't realize that there's a separate business or a separate office in the back. He's like, yeah, you know what, that's right. I was like, okay, great, look. And then I pulled out my calculator and I said, look, $500, right, divided by 30 days. I showed this to him on his calculator. Equals $16, and I think it was $16.67 or something like that. So I was like, can you justify paying an extra $16.67 per day to get this unit in the front that has all those advantages, and it'll allow you to be the face of this unit and be right at the front when a customer walks in, and you have that image of again being at the front and having there be no confusion and customer not coming in and end up buying from the person occupying the front unit because they didn't realize that you were at the back, and this includes pedestrian traffic, by the way. Can you justify an additional $16.67 per day? He was like, you're right, let's do it. And that's it. Less than a minute, I closed this guy on switching to the front unit. And he's not a cheap guy, obviously. He's not a cheap guy. He's not a bad person. It's just that his logic was a little. He was thinking about other things, right? And based on his logic, it made perfect sense. But based on the way he should have been thinking, like that's so I had to change his perception about that money. So I just focused on that $500. I didn't worry about the entire amount of the the rent, because I know he's closed on paying whatever the amount of the back unit. I just had to sell him on that extra $500 a month. So there's another example, right, of exactly how it works. So less than a minute, I closed this guy on going for the front unit. And when I say less than a minute, I'm not exaggerating there. And that's another example, right? So I just gave you, I think, two examples, one from recruitment, one from something not related to recruitment, on how you can use this concept of not focusing on the entire figure, but focusing and keeping in mind that you are closed on a certain amount. You just had to close on that difference, right? If this is what you want, and you're getting this, you just need to focus on that part. Close them on this part, and then use that reduce to the ridiculous close. And it's just gonna sound crazy for them to say no, because you reduce it to a dollar amount that's very, very feasible. I mean, who doesn't have an extra $16 a day? Think about it. Who does not have $16 a day? Or whatever the amount is. Maybe it's some ridiculous amount. I don't know. $5 a day. Like whatever it is, you can reduce it to as little as you want, and it's completely logical. Again, no manipulation, nothing crazy, and just use it. It's a very effective negotiation tactic. So again, remember, if you want this, and you're getting this, okay, you're already closed on this part. You already have this part. You already have it. So put that aside. You want to focus on this, right? Because that's what you want. You need to focus on closing them on this, and use that reduce to the ridiculous close. Again, big respect and credit goes to Grant Cardone. I don't know if he's the original guy who invented that close, but I definitely learned it from him, and it's an amazing close. Make sure you use it in your salary negotiation. I hope that helps you. Again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dean Kulawira. I'm an IT recruiter at SRA Staffing. We're based out of Yonge and Sheppard. Anywhere, if you're an IT professional, any way I can help you, let me know. Even if I'm not working on any job opportunities I can help you with immediately. I guarantee by keeping in touch, I should be able to help you at some point. And even if not, in between, I'm putting consistent and regular job search tips, advice, articles. I'm on Instagram now. You can follow me on Instagram for quick, 1-minute videos. And of course, here on YouTube, LinkedIn. And feel free to let me know if there's any particular topics you want me to cover. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you found it helpful, make sure you comment, like, share. Most importantly, use it in your job search, in your salary negotiation, whatever meeting, and let me know how it goes. Let me see. Tell me how effective it is. And that's probably the best thank you I can get, is if it works for you, because then that makes me feel real good. Because I love helping people in their job search and anything related to interviewing and all of that. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your time. I'll be back in the office tomorrow. Obviously, it's a kind of a short week here in Toronto. I guess the rest of Canada as well. But anytime, if there's any way I can help you, let me know. Other than that, I think that's about it. And make sure you check out my article, which I wrote about creatively following up. Thank you so much for watching again, and have a great day. Bye.